Chainsaws are a widely used machine on Irish farms today. It's estimated there's approximately 80,000 units. They vary from the very old to the very modern, accordingly to the safety devices fitted. Chainsaws by their nature are potentially very dangerous. Lethal pieces of equipment with a chain running at 16 metres up to 24 metres per second. Therefore, they have the capacity to rip human flesh in an instant. Trees and timber, due to its weight, height and torsion characteristics, is highly dangerous, and cutting it can cause serious injuries and fatalities. About 4% of farm deaths are associated with chainsaw and timber work, and it has been estimated that 6.5% of all injuries in the agricultural sector are chainsaw or wood related. A key first step to chainsaw operation to assess both the nature of the work to be conducted, your training and competency in this work, and the standard and maintenance of the chainsaw, and the availability of PPE or personal protective equipment and other equipment. The key question to ask yourself to do a timber related task: am I competent enough to do the task? If not, then use a competent contractor to do the job safely. So you must have the chainsaw safety helmet with suitable eye protection and ear defenders and hard hat. Chainsaw gloves with protection pad on the back of the left hand. Chainsaw trousers, leg protection, incorporating chain clogging material. Chainsaw safety boots with steel toe caps, good grip and the chainsaw logo. Non-snag, close-fitting outer clothing. No PPE or personal protective equipment can ensure 100% protection against cutting by a handheld chainsaw. Where possible, do not do chainsaw work alone. If you're working on your own, have a fully charged mobile phone, an emergency number and a first aid kit to hand. A modern chainsaw has the following safety features: chain brake, anti-vibration system, safety chain, a chain catching device, rear webbed handle, clearly marked on-off switch, exhaust pointed away from the operator, safety throttle, chain cover or scabbard, and safety symbols. The key safety maintenance requirements of a chainsaw are properly sharpened chain, adequately lubricated, and chain is properly tensioned. Use the correct petrol-oil mix ratio, and always consult the operator's manual related to maintenance and operation instructions. Your left hand should hold the chainsaw handle. Operate the throttle with your right hand. Hold the saw close to your body. Adopt a stable stance with legs apart and 1 foot ahead of the other. Ensure that the timber is securely held and elevated off the ground, and seek to cut at waist height. Never cut at shoulder height or above. Engage timber with a saw running at full revs. A well-sharpened chain will produce slivers of wood, while a poorly sharpened chain will produce powder. Never lead with the upper tip of the guide bar, as this will produce kickback. Tree felling is highly dangerous, and you should not undertake it unless you are fully trained in tree felling. So we have assessed the top of the tree, now the bottom of the tree. The first thing then, escape routes. If the felling goes wrong, we have 2 escape routes, 45 degrees to the left and 45 degrees to the right. We definitely don't stand in front of the tree as it falls or directly behind it. To find out if the tree is hollow or is damaged inside, we just tip it with the felling lever. As we were doing the back cut, we just watch the colour of the sawdust. If it does change colour, we know there's a problem internally in the tree. So any moss that's on the bottom of the tree, we remove it with the inside of our boot, go right around the tree because the moss can dull our chain. The next thing then, with our saw, we line up with our shoulder against the stem of the tree. We line up our line, the blue line, for directional fall. We do our top cut, and our bottom sink cut must meet. 1/3 to 1/5 of the way into the diameter of the tree is adequate for the board's peak. Then with a pulling chain, from the same side we do a back cut, either level with the bottom cut or slightly above, and we leave about 40 mil of a hinge. So with our back cut then, it comes in either level or slightly above our bottom sink cut, up to about 30 to 40 millimetre of a hinge we leave. And then as the tree falls, it can get hung up in other trees. The procedure then to take down a hung up tree, you determine the safe side to work from. The hinge is still intact, so 20% of the time we remove from the hinge, up to 80%. We leave the last 20 and we roll the tree over with the felling lever. If you are not fully trained in tree felling, use a competent contractor. Even small sapling trees can be under tension and can crack and spring and strike the operator. Timber can also be under compression, and this can cause the chainsaw to jam in the wood. A chainsaw is useful but potentially lethal piece of equipment. Get informed about the risks involved to prevent injury.